I really just want to know, do y'all really know how good God is? Like, firsthand. And if you don't know, I'm going to tell you right now.
Welcome to the church room. There's nothing more powerful than a real encounter with God. In this video, you'll hear raw, unfiltered stories from people who've seen God move. These aren't just stories. These are testimonies of faith and redemption. Whether you're in a season of waiting, wondering, or walking through the fire, may their testimonies stir your faith, ignite hope, and remind you that God is still in the business of miracles. Because if he did it for them, he can do it for you too.
May 13th, I was supposed to be evicted out of my apartment, right? Backed up on rent and all that. Now, a few months back, I decided to be a full-time content creator because that's my dream, that's my passion, and I thrive. Fast forward to May 9th, Friday. I'm going to go put the money down on the rent, go get the check that this agency is supposed to be helping me with and all that. Get to the agency and she like, oh, we can't find the check. I'm like, the lady yesterday told me to come back to pick up the check because Tuesday is the day I'm supposed to be evicted, May 13th. And she like, do you think they'll accept a letter or a call from us basically saying that we got the check, we just got to wait till Monday? And I'm just like, wait till Monday? I like to do things beforehand, not wait to the end of the line. So anyway, she was like, I'm just so sorry, I can't find the check. I'm like, in my head, I wanted to cry, which I did cry a little bit. But I'm like, it's not her fault. I don't want to get mad at her because she ain't do it. So I leave, I go to the car about to call my landlord, and I see them waving out the window to come back. Now, mind you, Friday, May 9th, I was supposed to go help my sister move into her first apartment. So I gets back into the facility. They're like, we found the check. It was in another bin, basically for pickups. And in my head, I'm like, you know what? I just thank you, Lord, because this could have went another way. But I just kept my cool. I kept my composure. And I left it at that. So I'm on my way to Philadelphia after that to go help my sister move. So we put her bed in my car, get everything out her room. It took 2 trips to do so. Me, my mom, my sister, and her friend. My brothers wasn't around at the time. So we do all that. We pick up my little brother from work. We get some crabs. We get some food to go cook for the first time in my sister's apartment. The next day, we got to go to AC. So I was spending the night. It was taking my mom for Mother's Day. The next morning, my car is gone. I looked out my sister's window and I said, my car gone. My sister was like, stop playing. I was like, yeah, it's gone. She was like, you were so calm. I thought you was playing. No, it's gone. Yes, I was behind on payments. Things have been up and down. Right as of right now, things are looking up a little bit. But at the end of the day, when you bet on yourself, when you got your own business, sometimes these things happen. Anyway, luckily, I got some great people in my life and in my corner who helped me get my car out, who helped me pay what I needed to pay. My sister started knocking on people's doors. She told the apartment people to run back those cameras. She like, did y'all see my sister's car? I'm like, yo, this girl crazy. We still end up going to AC for Mother's Day weekend. My mom had a good time. I still had a good time. But I was stuck in Philly until Tuesday. From Friday to Tuesday, y'all. I mean, not stuck in a bad way because I was with my family. But, you know, like, I was ready to go home. Tuesday comes to go pick up my car. I got a time for 2:30. I gets there. He like, you got the money order? I said, that's not what the text said. The text said, bring your ID, $330, and that's it. He was like, well, it should have said money order. I said, no, it didn't. I showed him, and he was like, yeah, I'm sorry. Why Philadelphia take a long time to find money orders? I couldn't find a money order nowhere. Nowhere. Then tell him, get it together. Anyway, long story short, God provided. God kept me covered. I'm still in my apartment. I got my car back. And God is good all the time. And all the time, God is good. And there has never been a time when he wasn't good.
All right, man, so I just wanted to come on here and tell y'all about my testimony of what the Lord did for me this morning. I've been talking about it all day. Man, so the job market sucks. We all know this. And I've been applying to jobs since like December of last year, so we going on 6 months. Well, I was fortunate enough, I was blessed enough to have the opportunity to be in a training class last Thursday and Friday for a low voltage cable technician role. So I was one of the top performers in the training class. The first time that they timed us to see how fast that we could terminate the cables, I was actually the first out of about 58 people. Now, I came in early, you know what I'm saying, the 2 days that they did the training class and everything. I really did everything that I could to make sure that I stood out in that training class. And there was a list of top performers, and I made sure that my name was on the top performers. I even came up to the person who was writing down the names, and I was like, hey man, I saw that you were writing down them names. I'm glad I came up to you yesterday to make sure my name was on the list. And we were joking, and he was like, yeah, you good, bro. So boom. So I'm speaking to my recruiter. I'm not going to give no names. I'm not going to talk about the company or anybody that was involved, but I was talking to my recruiter, and she was like, okay, well, your orientation day to join the company is going to be on next Tuesday. So I'm like, okay, cool. So, and I'm talking about next Tuesday, like next week, not this week. So I'm like, okay, cool. So, someone from the company calls me earlier today, and they're like, hey, can you come in today? I know it's short notice, but we need somebody to come into the site. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I got to take my son to a doctor's appointment at 11 o'clock. And he was like, okay, cool, I understand it's last minute, that's fine. So I emailed my recruiter, and I asked her to email me the information for next Tuesday. And I get a call saying that I wasn't on the list of top performers, and they're going to try to find me somewhere, but it might take a few weeks or a month or something like that. So all I said was, you know, okay, I understand. Now, that really broke my heart, because I knew in my heart that I had done everything that I could to stand out. And even the person who was training the class, he even said when I was talking to him privately, oh yeah, man, you know what I'm saying, you're actually helping me teach the class. And there was even a point in time where he asked me a question I didn't know the answer, and he was surprised because he was like, you know everything, how you don't know the answer to this? So I was really doing my best to stand out, and to hear that I didn't make it was very disheartening. So it was at the point, you know what I'm saying, like I cried. My wife even came, you know what I'm saying, she was consoling me because I was just so distraught about it. But there was something in my heart that was like, nah, call, because it just wasn't sitting right with me. So I called the person that called me out, that tried to call me out to the site this morning, and I called my recruiter. Neither one of them answered, so I left a voicemail with both of them. When my recruiter called me back and I gave her the rundown, I was like, hey, look, I actually was a top performer in this. So she was like, oh, well, I didn't know any of that. Let me call and, you know what I'm saying, see what's going on. Let me call our sales manager. So she calls me 8 minutes later and says, Reginald, I just want to say on behalf of our team, I am so sorry, because our sales manager called the trainer, and he couldn't say enough good things about you. He said that you were supposed to be at the very top of the top performers list. I was supposed to be at the top of the top performers list. And for some reason, I wasn't even on the list. And I was just like, that's crazy, because I went from, and look, this is another thing too. Originally, we were supposed to be on one site. I went from supposed to be on one site to having the door open for me to have options. I had 2 options now instead of me just being, you know what I'm saying, only having the option to go to one site, and my orientation tomorrow. So instead of me having to wait a whole nother week, I get to go to orientation tomorrow so I can go ahead and get started with everything tomorrow. And when I talked to my aunt about it earlier, she was like, that was a test of faith. And I'm just like, man, I don't know what it was, but all I know is that was God, because I distinctly remember this morning, I left the voicemails, and before I walked out of the bathroom, I said, God, it's in your hands, because I knew I had truly done everything. And she called me back. We talked on the phone, and 8 minutes after we talked on the phone, she called me again. And your boy start tomorrow. I can't do nothing but thank God, because that, oh my goodness, man, if you've been trying to get a job and you know what I'm saying, you know you've done everything to stand out and it still don't happen, it is a blow like no other. And for the Lord to like turn that situation around, I had to get on here and tell y'all about that, because man, I've been talking about that all day to anybody that'll listen. God bless you.
I started college in 2017, okay? It's 2025, and I'm just graduating. Y'all do the math. Every fall semester, like for the past 4 years, every fall semester when I would start school, there would be something that would come and distract me, and it would take me away from school, and it just continued to prolong my college experience. This year, well, this past like 2024 fall semester, I literally had a very tough, long, hard conversation with myself and with God. And you know what? Something's got to change. Something's got to give, because I can't stay here forever. Like, I have to move on to the next phase of my life. And so I prayed to God and I talked to him, and I'm just like, I'm giving it all to you. Like, I'm surrendering it
all to you. I can't do this on my own. I can't do this on my own strength. Whatever your will, let it be done at this point. When I tell y'all the power of God, literally the next day, boop, boop, like that. And it sounds crazy, trust me, I know, but boop, like that, everything was changed. I started passing my exams with grades that I didn't even think I could make as an economics major at LSU. The proof was in the pudding, you know, and like, it just grew my faith so much. And I kept going. I stayed in the word. Don't get me wrong. There were times when I was feeling defeated. Like, I felt defeated, but every time I did, I just kept reminding myself of like the promise and something bigger than me. Like, this was something bigger than me. Because how in the world have I been in college since 2017? It's 2025 and I'm still here, and I still have a little fight in me to get this done by nothing but the grace of God. Y'all, one prayer I prayed one time, my professor, the professor I had, he was so just like toughest professor I've ever had in my career, in my college career. And I prayed to God. I said, Lord, put your hands on this man's heart. Soften his heart. Because you could tell, like, every time I walk into the class and just look at him, I could tell that he has a hard heart. Like, he's just a very hard person. I don't know what's going on in his life. And I started to feel sad. Like, I started to feel empathy towards him. Because at first I was like feeling anger towards him because he was such a hard professor. But then after I got into the word and like started to have those conversations with God, I started to feel empathy for him. Because like, you never know what's going on in his personal life. You never know what type of battles he's facing that comes with him into work. So I started to pray to God, Lord, soften this man's heart, like work a miracle. And when I tell y'all, when I got that exam back and it said 97A, I about broke down in a praise dance, y'all. I'm not even kidding. But
okay, so real quick, earlier today I posted on Facebook that God was looking out for you, and the thing that triggered me to do that was the thing that happened to me today, and I just got to share with y'all because I was like, this is crazy. So about a month ago, I got a ticket. I was for not stopping at a stop sign, but I did stop. I was on my way home in my neighborhood, 2 streets over from my house. I was in a relaxed mode because I just got off work, so I wasn't rushing or anything. And the cop saw me and said I didn't stop at the stop sign. I was like, first of all, I was like, I'm not paying for this. That's what I told myself. And I was like, whenever it's time for me to go to court, I'm going to contest this ticket. So my court date comes up today. I go to the courthouse or to the circuit court or county, whatever it was. And one of our family friend attorney judge was out there. And I was like, oh my, hey, and then they were like, what are you doing here? And I, told them what's going on. And then they were like, well, why didn't you call me? And I was like, well, I really didn't think to call. I was just going to represent myself and, just hope that, everything goes well. So they were like, well, I'm going to run to the office real quick and I'll be back and I'll represent you. So I was like, well, first of all, what are the chances? Because I got there 30 minutes early. And I was like, what are the chances of me showing up at that time, seeing them when they were about to leave? They were literally going to their car to leave at that time. So first of all, God showed up and allowed that person to show up at the right time. And we were at the right place. Just all that, right? So we get in there, they do roll call. There's like 30 people in there. And I was like, man, I'm probably going to be here all day. And then, so then, they walk in. And so after they do roll call, and say my name, and they were like, okay, I'm representing Jimmy Ballard. And I'm just like, wow, instant representation. So anyway, so then the attorneys and everything go to the judge before everything gets started. And I guess anybody that's trying to get stuff thrown out and stuff, they do that first. So my attorney goes to the cop, talks to him, and then signals me to come up there and was like, hey, they're going to throw this out. Just, don't get another ticket for like 3 months. And I was like, okay. And I walked out. So when I tell you God is looking out for me, so I wanted to encourage you again. He is looking out for you. He knows the exact time, the exact place of whatever's going to happen, whatever should happen. And he's going to take care of it and throw it out.